Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with the Rude Man. I'm assuming that we're streaming. Find out here in a minute. But it's Tuesday and I'm back. Let me reset my other PC here. And there we are. We are live. And it isn't even Saturday night. Hi, Tim. 22. No Man's Land. What? You had to start over. Why'd you have to start over? What happened? Scorpion, thank you. AVC, all good. Tim says he had to start over on his game. Couldn't figure out why my controller wouldn't work. It's not on. I guess that'd help. All right, down off the truck. I might have to move my Jeep because I keep landing on top of it when I start in. I don't remember what I was doing. I never do. My PC delete my save game. Well, that happens. I keep mine separate. Now you have is it a laptop you're using or It doesn't matter whether it's a laptop or another. Get yourself a thumb drive. Just get a thumb drive, stick it in the computer, take your game saves, put it on there. Take that, put it in a sock drawer someplace, and you'll have to pull it out every once in a while to make sure you get the latest version, but at least you wouldn't lose everything. Hi, Andy. Or get a thumb drive, stick it in your computer, take your save game, put it on there, and then play your game. When you're done playing for the day, resave it. Take that thumb drive out, put it in a sock drawer. Then your computer won't be able to touch it. And you just put it back on when you need it. All right, let's do this grass. I got to do this grass. Why not? Andy, how you feeling? All right, well, I don't remember if I've got anything set up for this as far as GPS or not. Can you hear me okay? Pull this thing a little closer. Couldn't hear myself. It's a laptop, yeah. It doesn't really matter. But the only reason I asked if it was a laptop is, the first thing I do is I put a different drive in my computer. I make sure when I build computers that I put 2 or 3 drives in it. And I keep one drive for nothing but Windows. I keep one drive for games and nothing else. And then the third drive I use for storage. And I store pictures, I store music, I store documents that I want to keep, I store saved games, anything like that is in that storage drive. And then I'll actually have a second storage drive that's an external one, and it plugs into USB. It's not actually in the computer itself. It's an external drive. And I keep double backups on it. Like, imagine all the videos that I've got on my YouTube page. I got over 3,000 now. I don't exactly know how many, but quite a few. If that was all on my computer and my computer went belly up, I'd lose 10 years worth of work. I keep none of that on my computer. I have external drives. As a matter of fact, I've got 5 or 6 of them over the years. So if somebody said, can we see the first video you ever put up on YouTube? I said, sure. I'll go in my closet, get the hard drive that it's on, hook it up to the computer, and Bob's your uncle. All right, let's see if I can fix this here. GPS. It's already on. Mowing. There we go. And set it up. That didn't work. Why did that not work? There it goes. Okay. You got rid of your old drive? I still use all older drives, but they're storage drives and they're all external. Anything I've got in my computer now is digital. Hi, Jeremy. Did I say hi to Jeremy? I don't think I did. Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? Hey, Rob. How you doing, Rob? I'm assuming school's out for the day. Rob's here. Unless my live stream's part of his classwork. Life lessons. Hinterland? What's Hinterland? Is that a map? Have I played it before? Hinterland. It sounds like I don't know, what the hell does that sound like? Hinterland. That sounds evil. I'll have to look it up, Tim. I don't remember. If it's a map, I probably already played it, but I don't recall. I haven't tested the memes yet. I don't know if they're working. I gotta figure out what I'm supposed to be doing now. I think I've got plowing to do, but I'm not sure. need a haircut again. I just had a haircut a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 maybe, I don't remember. Seems like I'm always waiting for a haircut. There you go, Andy. Andy's taking care of his equipment. So my new computer isn't as good as my one I built a couple years ago. I put the motherboard that I'm using has 3 slots for those the NVMEs. There are 3 slots. The new computer that I'm using now only has 1 slot. The rest of them I have to put SSDs in. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I'm just saying that the MEs, plug directly into the motherboard. But, so do the SSDs in the long run. They just have a longer cord. JJ, how's JJ doing? Well, Tim, that's a loaded question, really, because it all depends. It all depends on what markets you have to sell to. It depends on what map you're on and how the map author has set up his crops and his sell points. And not only that, I could easily answer your question because your question was only which crop to make money. Any crop you plant is going to make money. So there's no right or wrong answer there. You didn't ask what the best crop would be to make the most money at starting, but even that, like I say, is hard to answer because it all depends on the map. It depends on the mod author and how to set up the sell points. It depends on the mod author and how he's got yields set up. There's a lot to it, and it could be different for every gameplay. My rule of thumb is, first off, if I'm doing production, plant crops that I can use for that production, and that includes cattle. So if I've got cattle, I want to have grass for making silage. I might want to have corn as a feed, or something that animals would eat if I was making pig food. If I'm making TMR, I would plant those kinds of crops. If I was needing oil, because I had an oil factory and I was making potato chips, so I need oil. So that's my number one. If I'm doing production, plant crops that I can use. So of all that, I might not have a use for, say, sorghum or rye. If I didn't have horses, I wouldn't need oats. So I would kind of determine what kind of crops I need for the production. And then after that, I would just pick crops that I enjoy harvesting. I kind of like to harvest corn once in a while because it stands up in the field. If I'm tired of picking up straw, then I'll stop doing grain and I'll do like canola or soybeans that don't have windrow, unless again you're on a map like we are on today, where there is windrow for soybeans. This map has windrow for soybeans. Hi, Lori. Lori's in the house. Hey, Craig. Craig's trying to scare us all. You ruined my eardrums. Patrick. All right, Patrick, I'm not quite sure if I understand that statement, but we'll go with it. How you doing? Oh. Charlie Munger passed. Uh-oh. I just watch, I don't know why I get lured into watching these Guess Who Died This Week videos, and it's just depressing. And I'm kind of down right now anyway. You guys that have been around for a while have heard me tell the story about us going on vacation, and there was some lady in a wheelchair and another lady were shopping, and they were looking at kayaks, and so was my wife. My wife was looking at a kayak because we were going to buy a second kayak. So we took off for vacation, and when we got to the big city, we pull into a sporting goods store, and we're looking at the kayaks. So they had them lining up against the wall, straight up and down, and they were tied up. But some of them weren't. And this lady on the wheelchair goes over and kind of rams the thing to have it fall on her. And we think she was doing it on purpose for insurance scam. Carol didn't know. She was looking, and she ran over and stopped it. She caught the thing, but she really hurt her neck. She injured her neck really bad doing that, and she squished one of the vertebrae in her neck, on her spinal cord, and it's in roughly the same location that the guy that played Superman injured when he was paralyzed from a horse fall. It's in that roughly same location, and so it's very dangerous for her. And of course, this was 20, 30 years ago, but she's been to the doctor several times over this, and she's been in therapy for it. The doctor said, we could do surgery, and they would, what's the word? They would do something to that to fuse it together, because eventually that's going to wear out more and more and more. And they told her that if she could stand the pain, that therapy might be the best thing to do, but that at some point in her life, she's going to have surgery on her spine. And so they thought, if you can prolong that as long as you can by therapy. So she went to therapy. She learned how to do exercises. It's been better throughout the years, but every once in a while she'll do something and it'll inflame again. Well, over Christmas, she was lifting something or doing something in the closet or doing something, and she twisted her neck, and now she's in terrible pain again. And there's not much you can do for her. I've got, you put a painkiller on, take a painkiller, heat, cold, whatever. But now she's worried to have to go to the doctor again, the surgeon again, and whether it's now going to have to be time where she has the surgery. And the surgery is dangerous. It's on your spinal cord. It's dangerous. If something goes wrong with the surgery, she may be paralyzed. Not only that, it's in a particular location where it might paralyze her lungs, and then she couldn't breathe. I mean, it's very dangerous, very, very dangerous, and I'm scared all to hell, because and of course I'm feeling like, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. We've been knowing that this is going to happen sooner or later. They told us it would, that sooner or later she would have to have this surgery. So she hasn't seen the doctor yet. She's trying to do, like I said, the pain, the cold and the heat, trying to relax and not do anything. And she's got an appointment with her regular doctor. There's not much the regular doctor can do, except for maybe prescribe that she can go back to therapy again. That has to be a prescription from a doctor, a referral, before the insurance will pay for it. So she's gonna try that again and see if, but she needs to go see a regular surgeon as well. Now, I've often thought this, that if you go see a surgeon, what does a surgeon do? Day in and day out, they're cutting you open. That's what a surgeon does. What's a surgeon going to want to do? They're going to want to do surgery. Now, if they'd have told her that 30 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was, 25, 26 years ago, that surgery was the only thing, they would have, so she went to a surgeon. So after she went to the surgeon, she went to a different doctor and said, is there anything we can do therapy-wise so that I don't have to do surgery? But see, a surgeon's always going to want to do surgery. So your first doctor shouldn't be a surgeon. Your first doctor should be somebody that can refer you to therapy of some kind, build up your muscles to help you, with that kind of thing. Eventually, you might have to have the surgery. That's not the, the purpose. But if you go to a surgeon first, that's what they're going to do. So anyway, yeah, I've been praying pretty hard. Well, and then the second part is Carol's getting, she's older now. I'm 70. Carol is 3 years older than me. She's 73. So, yeah, I'm pretty worried about it. And one of the things that really worries me about it is because she won't stop doing stuff. I'm constantly ragging her to stop. If there's something in the closet you need, if there's something in the kitchen you need, if there's something that's heavy, call somebody to come and do it for you. There's plenty of people here to do that. But she just won't. She just wants to do everything. It just really upsets me. Where do I put this guy? Stick him over here by the sheep. I don't go visit the sheep very often. Oh my God. I've got wool to pick up, and I don't have a trailer to pick it up. All right, well, there you go. Anyway, enough sadness, I guess. Let's get on with it. I've got all this, I think this is this plowed? And we, oh, that's fertilizer. I thought that was lime. Was that lime or is that fertilizer? I think it's lime. I don't think the fertilizer goes on white like that. I would, except for I hate that song. I never was a big Beatles fan. All right, I don't remember. This looks plowed, doesn't it? Look at all the stupid rocks. Wouldn't it tell me if it needed plowed? I think it would. I think it would tell me if it needed plowed. So let's see, what do we got here? Sugar beets are growing. Andy says he's doing great. That's good to hear. Been worried about Andy for a while now. All right, I missed something here. Why is this not white here? Potatoes are growing. Okay, this one does need plowing. It says so. So I'm going to go with that. If the field says it needs plowing, I'm going to plow it. If it doesn't, I'm not going to. So there you go. So that means we can pick up this grass. Let's get that done. This is my new picker-upper I showed you in the last episode. Does anybody know if the old one we were using ever got fixed? Because I just put the new one in and turned the old one off. It's a double benefit for you. Thanks. Scorpion's like a succubus or an incubus. Well, not a succubus. That'd be the female one. Scorpion's kind of like an incubus. He kind of draws from your pain. Draws pleasure from your pain. Obviously, this is a different, quicker picker upper. If you notice, I'm only doing 19 miles an hour. The one that I had modded up went a little bit faster. I think it's about 23, 24, 25 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
An evil scorpion. Cheers, Lori. I tell you what I'm sick of right now. Just sick to death of turkey. I'm sick of turkey. I'm just sick to death of turkey. My daughter told us we didn't want to do a turkey this year. And so Carol said, well, let's just do a turkey breast instead. So we went to Costco and bought a turkey breast. And our oldest daughter said, that's not going to be enough because that'll only serve, 4 people. And she was wrong. It served a hell of a lot more than 4 people. So we bought 2 of them, and now we've got turkey coming out our ears. And it's just, and it isn't the same kind of turkey. To me, it's not as good. We should have just got a turkey. Normally what we do is we go to the store and we buy everything. We buy our pies and our whipped creams and Cool Whips and the Jell-Os and the fruit and all the fixings for the Thanksgiving feast. And that generally comes to more than $100. But generally, the store that we shop at, if you spend more than $150, they'll throw in a 20-pound turkey for free. And we've gotten, a free turkey. It's not, well, I guess it's free. I mean, you're spending the money to get it, but it's money we would have spent anyway for the rest of the meal. So we didn't do that this year. She was about $40 short and just said, heck with it. There's some other stuff I could buy, but I'm going to get them at a different store. And so she didn't amount to the 150. I told her, she didn't tell me that till she got home. I told her, oh, you should have done it anyway, because it's already a frozen turkey. We could have had it for Christmas or something, or it probably would have lasted to Easter. It's already frozen. But anyway, didn't happen. We got this turkey breast and it was like too much. It just doesn't taste the same. It's not. It's kind of like getting a processed meat. I don't know. It's not the same as carving it off the bird. What's Tim up to, Rudy? Is flour good money? Again, it's debatable. If they, turkeys is to be aged to make tetrazzini. I don't know if when's the last time I had tetrazzini? Tim, the thing is, if you've got a flour factory, remember my number 1 rule: grow things that you can have production for. If I have a crop and the only thing I can do with that crop is take it to the store and sell it, then that's kind of off my priority list. If I can make flour with it, then okay, I'll grow that and make flour with it. It might not be my top 5 choice or my top 3 crop choice, but it would be up in the top choice because there's production for it. I don't farm for the money. I never have. I mean, Scorpion will tell you that. in all the times I've farmed, he's always telling me, I'm doing this because it pays that. I don't run over and start doing that. I've never played for the money. I play the crop that I want to do at the time. And if it makes a little money, it makes a little money. If it doesn't, well, maybe I'm a sucker. But I've never played for the money. I always figure, if you do enough farming, eventually you'll gather the money. Venison's like lamb. I've never had lamb, ever. So I wouldn't know. But venison, yeah, it's kind of like, it depends. It depends on where you're hunting. Because we lived in an area that was sagebrushy and foresty. And the deer that we hunted in that area was what they call gamey. When you ate it, you knew it was a game animal. You knew it wasn't a cow. It was a game animal. That's what they mean by gamey. Like, for example, the deer that we got in the sagebrush area, it tasted like sage. I mean, that's what they're eating. That old saying, you are what you eat. Same way with animals. That's why the people that grow animals for food, they'll feed them different kinds of foods. They may let them roam in a pasture, all that kind of stuff. But when I was young and we were raising cattle, we would raise that cattle on pasture grass, alfalfa, and things like that until they were getting close to slaughter weight. When they were close to slaughter weight, we would bring them all into a corral. We'd take them off the pasture, bring them into the corral, and we'd start feeding them grain and good mixed rations and grain, because we wanted that meat we wanted to be able to sell that beef as grain fed. It makes a difference on the taste. That's how we did it. Yeah, well, the other place that we hunted was in wheat country, and of course, in wheat country, the deer would get into the wheat fields, and they would be eating grain. And now, when we hunted that kind of venison, it actually tasted like beef. It was, it doesn't have exactly the same taste as beef. It doesn't. It's not beef. It's deer. But it didn't have the gamey taste to it. You could tell it was grain fed. So depends on where you hunt. All righty, we need to get that one does need to go someplace. Do we remember where? Let's see. I think it was over on the other side of the grass. I had a field that needed plowed. Who's talking about Optimus? You talking about the Transformer Optimus? Oh, are you talking about that picture you put up in Discord? I used to use Blender. I don't know if I have Blender anymore. I used to use Blender. Those kinds of programs are so darn expensive anymore, and they don't It used to be you could buy a program and use it forever and ever and ever. Now you have to pay for it every month. You can't buy the program. You buy a subscription for the program. What the heck? What happened there? If I got my plow down, oh, for crying out loud, I did. I just plowed up my grass field. How silly is that? This the one that needs it? Yeah, this is the one that needs it. All right. Crawdads and grass. All right, let's I'm going to go around the field like I usually do. I love this piece of equipment, both the tractor and the plow. My favorite. Is my favorite. Plow on the go. Now I got to replant the grass. Craig got plowing while jobs available. Addie got kicked out of school again today for 5 days. And this time we're going to try to fight it. Because she got up too early and hadn't finished her makeup. Kids got to have makeup on now. Whatever. And she had to catch the bus, and we told her you're going to miss the bus. So just get out there. You know, and so she grabbed her makeup case and threw it in her bag and went to school. Cheers, Scorp. Now, in between classes, she ran in the restroom and was working on her makeup. And there was another girl in the restroom with her. There were two of them. And I didn't get a chance to ask Addie, but I don't even think she even knew the other girl. But anyway, she had to hurry to her next class, and she left some of her stuff. You know, kids are. She left some of her, like her makeup bag or something. And some other student went in the restroom and then went to the principal's office and said they could smell marijuana in the restroom. And so they went into the restroom and they found Addie's makeup bag. And so they figured out who the other girl was. So so they kicked Addie out of school. And so when you ask them, they say, how do you even know she was doing it? They said, doesn't matter. It's guilt by association. Even if it was the other girl, Addie was there, and guilt by association. Well, that doesn't seem quite right. In this instance, I mean, you can't use a bathroom because if you go in there, you're going to be associated with anybody else that's doing anything in there. And I've seen Addie work on her makeup. When she's doing her makeup, that's what she's doing. You can't even talk to her. Just get away, I'm doing my makeup. She doesn't stop and do. So now, because Addie has got into a little bit of trouble in the past, which she has, they keep adding it on. At first she missed 2 days. Then she had to miss 3 days. Now it's 5 days. And guilt by association doesn't quite get it for me. Not in this instance. You know how much time you've got from get from class to class? You know, if she was doing her makeup, she wasn't doing anything else because she barely had time to get in there, do something, and get out of there. I think she told Carol that she wears these eyelashes, and she didn't have time to put the second eyelash on. But now she's out of school for 5 days again. And it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Has this got a setup for the plow? So we got all kinds of issues going on at my house that have me upset. And I don't need to be upset. It makes me ill. It affects my health, and it especially affects my heart, and my blood pressure goes up, and you know I've already got blood pressure issue. That's why I'm not supposed to be drinking Mountain Dew. And this last 2 times I went to my cardiologist, he told me, he says, your blood pressure is getting kind of high again. And I'm already heavily medicated. I take 2 pills a day for blood pressure, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. So I'm already medicated for it, and now I'm having trouble with it. And so I don't need this kind of stress. You couldn't get kicked out when you tried. Well, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Especially if you've got a kid that's struggling with their grades and stuff. Okay, well, we're going to kick them out for a week. Well, they're already behind. And here's the thing. There's some kids, like Lori was talking about. I'm not saying she's this kind, but there are kids that... they'd be skipping all the way home whistling because they got kicked out of school. All right, PlayStation 5 all day long. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to. I went to the vice principal the last time and told him, can you have the teachers give us some homework for her so she doesn't get behind? So I'll have to go and see if I can do that again. Internet hiccups, JJ? Oh, look, I plowed through my... Oh no. I plowed through my potato field and plowed up my potatoes. Look. Darn it. Oh, silly me. Sounds like an Italian song. Oh, silly Mia. I plowed my taters. You were a great student. Your parents held you back. I wasn't a bad student, but I was the class clown, or one of them. We had a competition between me and another kid. And I just like to make people laugh. And so I was a class clown, but I wasn't a bad student because I was pretty smart. And like in math classes, I would have my math done in in the first 15 minutes of class, and then the teacher would let me go around and help people that were having trouble with their math. And I kind of got into that. I felt good about doing that. So I would get my math done, and then I would go help other kids. I hated history. I didn't like social studies. I loved English and math and reading. I was an avid reader. I read, if I wasn't doing anything else, I was reading a book. Wasn't a bad student, and I missed the first grade completely because of my heart. And then I went into the first grade, and they immediately passed me up to the second grade. So I kind of skipped the first grade. And so I got back in line with everybody else my age. And then I ended up graduating high school almost a year early, so. All right, I gotta find this guy. He's still got beats in him. I gotta fix that field. Okay, so I was doing potatoes. That field, potatoes. Taters precious. What are taters precious? Boil them in a pot. Mash them. Boil them. Roast them. I can't remember. It was in the Lord of the Rings movie where Gollum was asking the fat hobbit how to do what potatoes were. I'm fixing taters. What are taters precious? Buffering a lot today. I noticed that my computer, I think it must be YouTube, because you can't get better internet than I've got. But my other computer's buffering. I'm guessing it's YouTube that's messed up today. Let me I'm gonna refresh it. It's oh god, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It must be YouTube. If everybody's got it, it's even affecting me. And there's nobody here using my internet today. I'm only one here. I hope this feels potatoes, because if not, I'm going to have this big strip of potatoes right through it. I should have looked. Let me jump out and look. Growing potatoes, okay. Growing potatoes. Oh, jeez. All right, now I can switch to grass, right? How do I do that? Switch to grass. I couldn't make it do it because I had the planter was running. I should have turned it off, and I didn't. So let's turn it on again, lower it down, fix my grass field up. Hi, John. John's in the house. You're 1 year early, Lori? Yeah, I was a year younger than everybody else when I graduated. Well, not everybody, but most everybody. Whoa! Scared me. Oh, thank you, John. That's worth getting scared over. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. How's farming life? How's the farming life doing for you? I saw a short video today from a farm wife, young farm wife. She's probably maybe between 25 and 30. Got a little baby in a pouch in front of her there, and she's walking through the farmyard, and she's talking while she's walking, and she says she's talking about her family life, and specifically her husband. And she said, "Oh no, I hate when I do that." She's talking specifically about her husband, and she's talking to the camera, and she says, "I have people ask me why I do some of the things I do," and she says, in our home life, she says, "I will pick up my husband's dirty laundry. I cook and feed and do dishes and take care of the kids and stuff like that for my husband. And I have a lot of people telling me that I shouldn't have to do that I'm a strong, independent woman, and that I'm smart and I can do better for myself." And she says, "Look around," and she's pointing her farm out. She said, "My husband built this." She said, "My husband has given me everything I have." She said, "My husband gave me a child. My husband gave me this farm. My husband works this farm. My husband built our house with his own two hands. I don't have the skill to do that. I didn't have the skill to do that. He did that for us and for me." And she starts listing all the stuff that he does, and she says, "And I help him around the farm and stuff like that." And she says, "It's worth, every bit of it is worth it, because without him I would have nothing." And people don't look at that anymore like that. It's like men are just evil. How many times you see these shows now that women don't need these old men. We don't need men anymore. They're too toxic. They're too masculine. I don't know what happened to us. The first thing that I would say personally was that Carol and I built it together. We built what we have together. We shared our life. Anything we did it for the both of us did it. What's wrong with that? All right. Now what's happening here? How come I can't? I'm not getting anything. Am I on the wrong side? Do I need to be on the other side? Peter, hello, how are you? Thank you, Peter. You're getting a new cattle trailer? Sweet. That reminds me, I got to buy a trailer for the farm here. Why can I not pick this up? What's going on? What's happening? I mean, literally, I just dropped this stuff. Why is it not picking it up? I don't get it. I do not understand. Oh, it's 2:00, and I'm thirsty. I had chicken strips and JoJo potatoes, or steak potatoes. Steak French fries. They're not French fries, they're steak fries. Steak fries, you call them JoJo's. They call them JoJo's in the mini marts. I don't know why I can't fill this up. I don't know what's going on. It's just not working. Damn it. You know why it's not working? Remember we were talking about the other computer? I switched my keyboard over. Let me switch it back. I'm surprised Scorpion didn't catch that. He usually does. All right, there. It's working now. Oh, boy, boy, boy. Peter, how's it going today? Hope everything's doing wonderful where you are. We've had the best weather, cold, but for 2 weeks now, we've had sunshine every day. It hasn't got over 50 degrees, but we've had beautiful weather. And I got another problem. I jumped in the hot tub the night before last, and it didn't feel hot. It was warm, but it didn't feel hot. I keep my hot tub about 104 to 105 degrees, and it's down to like 100, 99, 100, and that's about as high as it got. And Carol said, well, it's been really cold out. I said, Carol, we've had that hot tub for, what, almost 15 years? It's been cold before. I use it every night. I know. It's been below freezing out there, and the temperature maintains at 104, 105 degrees. Thermostat that keeps it that way. I'm thinking that the heater's going out. So I looked. It's heater's $230. Oh, wait a minute. One was $230. The one that I would get is $190 because I don't need all the fittings for it. I just use the old fittings that are on the hot tub. So I can get it cheaper. So I'm going to have to do that. It's always something, isn't it? Isn't it? Let's see, what was I looking for? I was looking for something like that. See if I can work on my blood pressure today. All right, so that's gonna make my tummy feel like this, all sparkly. So put that in the old koozie, the auto load koozie. Gravity works. And of course, then when I take a drink of that, which we'll do, oh man, that's cold. It's so refreshing. I'm done with the Dr.